Knowing this near universal pattern helps to assess new brands and existing ones.
What don't marketers know?
Quite a lot. Marketers
I actually live in a anything goes world where the latest fashion or fad drives an awful lot of practice.
Segmentation is the recognition you can't serve everyone with equal satisfaction.
This is the Zac Anesbury Show.
Welcome. On today's podcast clip, we have Associate Professor Müller from Northwest University, South Africa. On the teaching side of things, one thing I found really quite interesting was you hadn't just walked into a course that someone else had created, which is kind of the role that I find myself in. I've tried to naturally make improvements to it and add my little style and flair to it. But you created an entire course by the looks of it in brand management. Is that right?
Yes, I was very fortunate when I moved into my program leader position. That's when we recurriculated. That's when the school split. So I was involved in helping with the new marketing degree to develop that. And part of that, I had the opportunity to redevelop brand management as well as digital marketing, because back then we didn't have digital marketing as part of the programs.
And brand management makes sense, leveraging off your expertise from your master's and your PhD. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're the right man for the job there, that's for sure. How did it feel to create a new course? Because I've never experienced this before, right? So if I was to undertake this at some point, or someone else who's listening is about to do this, what should they expect?
The first thing you need is the content. And I think that was the biggest challenge, to find a textbook or to find a publisher that can create a textbook for you for this new course. I think that was the biggest challenge for us. And sometimes you do find the content, but it's pitched at a different level. It's like a second-year module, but the content is pitched at an honors level. For example, when it comes to brand management, Keller and Arca is like the go-to guys, but those textbooks are pitched at a much higher level than our brand management course is currently at. And I think part of the challenge, that was a challenge, and part of the solution we identified. We're currently going again through a recalculation process, and we're going to move brand management to the final year because it is actually a lot more complex.
Agree. I think our brand management's in the third year now as well, but I'm pretty sure when I started here, it was a second year course. So yeah, we've discovered the same thing that you have. I found also something really quite interesting that you'd done, which was something called Ensuring My Success. And so it's an at-risk student identification tool. I've heard of these before. I've never used one. So I'm really curious about this one.
Okay, so in our institution, part of the must-dos within teaching and learning is you have to identify your at-risk students. And it used to be a very demotivating, demoralizing thing because the student scored bad on a test. Now he gets a letter or an email, you're at risk. So we created this, it's in essence a Google form. So the students get the Google form link, and it's putting it sort of in their court. It's not you're at risk. What can I change to ensure my success? So during that, and it's not just the at-risk students that can complete that. We actually encourage all our students to complete that. And the questions are structured in such a way to get them thinking as to why did I perform as I did during this assessment? Is it I'm not going to class? Maybe I don't have a textbook. Just to get them thinking about their own success.
And have you gotten feedback from this from students and they've enjoyed it?
Yes, our feedback is actually a lot higher. Way back when we identified students, usually you send a mail, they need to come and see you and respond to the mail. Response rate is like 5 to 10%. Whereby with the EMS form, the response rate is a lot higher.
Yeah. I mean, that's remarkable because especially early on in a program, right? Maybe you're a first semester or second semester student, or you're doing a course that's, aligned to your discipline. If you're a marketing student, you have to do accounting, and it can really hurt you because you have to pay for your higher education fees. So that's a detriment to begin with. And then it can hurt your GPA at the end of your program. So this sounds like an incredible tool if you can help people identify that they're at risk in nice way, I suppose, and get them to improve. So the system works by flagging someone who's not doing so well from their first assessment, and then how does it help them improve for the rest of the semester?
As part of the form, there is an option at the end. Okay, what am I going to do to ensure my success? I'm going to schedule an appointment with the lecturer, or I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And if they tick they want to schedule an appointment, there's an option. Okay, here's the contact details, and it gets sent through to the lecturer. And I think what's also nice about this tool, way back we identify at-risk students based on specific modules. But a lot of times your real at-risk students are the ones who are struggling in more than just one module. So with this tool, you kind of get a bird's eye view after school, and you can then easily identify the students that really need some help.
Yeah, and is this embedded into your university website now?
Currently, it's just school-based.
Okay.
It's something we started last year.
Yeah.
We'll probably roll it out next year to the rest of the faculty, or that's the plan.
Yeah, this sounds great. Is this in line with your, you have the research team that focuses on, scholarship of teaching and learning? Are these people involved by the sounds of it? Or?
Not currently, but that's a good avenue to consider.
Yeah, because if they're publishing in this space, this sounds like a great tool that more people should be aware of. Yeah, because it really can have imagine you're not doing so well and you're down in the dumps, and people are, they can beat up on themselves if they don't feel like they're achieving. So if you can identify that, help them to succeed, you're likely to build that momentum, and it also means that they're less likely, I guess, to drop out after that semester. Have you found in enrollment rates or retention rates, I guess, or re-enrollment? I don't know the right term for it, but people continuing their program, has those percentages increased?
I think it's too soon to tell. We only started with it last year, so we'll definitely look into that, whether it had a positive effect.
I suspect it would. Yeah, I really do. Because, if you're I'm not going to quit because I'm doing well, but if you're not doing well, then you lose that confidence and that motivation. So I have a feeling it's going to help you with retention rates for students, and that helps the university, right? But it helps them and their life. Really cool.
Even if they don't make contact after the form guided them through a thought process just to identify what might be the problems.
Yeah, that's true. So you've actually made them stop and pause and reflect as well. Hi everyone, Zac here again, and just a few quick reminders before you go. If you're listening to the podcast and are considering incorporating it into your secondary school or university courses, then please let me know and I can guide you through the process. If you're enjoying the show and getting some insights from it, then please leave me a 5-star review on your podcast listening platform. It would go a long way to spreading the word. If you know someone who would benefit from this content, then I would be thrilled if you could consider sharing this episode and its knowledge with them. And finally, thank you for becoming part of the community for this show.